The first piece of advice I have to give here is to adequately prepare before foraging wild clay. I was so excited when I walked up to this incredible hillside filled with this beautiful dark blue clay right on the beach. But all I had to carry it was a Ziploc bag I brought for shells. My partner and I were on a 2-week road trip, exploring, surfing, skiing, hiking, and staying in the cutest Airbnbs ever. On this particular hike, we had zero intention of foraging for wild clay. So take it from me, a nerdy pottery girly, to come prepared on any hike with a way to carry out some clay deposits, because you will want more than you think you need. The coil test is where you roll out a section and then spiral it around your finger like wearing a ring.
That's clay right there.
And if it doesn't crack or break, then it's likely good for pottery.
That's super exciting. It has a ton of rocks in it.
I knew I just had to take some home with me.
So it have to be purified.
This clay was just begging for pottery use. Just look at this little pinch pot I made straight out of the ground. It was kind of perfect for sculpting without processing. Luckily, I did have my Ziploc bag, so I filled it to the brim and took what I could home with me. When I returned to my studio back home, I jumped right into processing the clay by placing it in a small bucket and adding water. Once the clay softened, I started mixing it together with a hand drill and a spiral attachment. One small but very annoying detail I encountered was not having the right size buckets to fit perfectly with my cheesecloth bags. This would have been much easier and cleaner if I had planned a bit better for this part. The idea is to remove impurities from the clay by separating out any particles like sand and stones.
The clay is literally separating.
I like to think of this part like a tea bag. After steeping and pressing out the bag, you're left with the yummy stuff. No leaves or herbs, just tea. In this case, you're left with the clay that is safe to use and hopefully will survive a kiln fire. More on that in a minute.
This is precious.
As you can see here, were some very large rocks left in the bag after separating the impurities. As I poured out what felt like an hour of work, I was a little underwhelmed at the amount of clay I had. I was kind of worried I wouldn't have enough to make something, but I kept with the process in hopes of making something with this special material. After a few hours of time of carefully drying out the wild clay on my plaster, I bagged it up and finally had the chance to try and throw with it. Isn't that nice? Let's do the coil test. This was super exciting, but also a little nerve-wracking since I only had this small amount to work with.
Legit ass clay.
In order to test if this clay would survive a firing in the kiln, I made this mini pinch pot, which I just thought was a cuter way to make a test tile. This way I could figure out which cone to fire to with my piece I'm about to try and throw on the wheel. Our new little baby Rhea has been such a fun new addition to the studio and is obsessed with pottery maybe as much as I am. Right away, the clay felt so good in my hands and had such good plasticity and stability on the wheel.
How's it taste? Okay, should I start? Should I start? Did you see her trying to bite me? She's licking it. Hey, hey, hey! Shit. I have a feeling I didn't smack it down good enough. That'll suction on there.
I started to flow when I started to think about how amazing it was to be throwing on the wheel with this foraged material. As a scientist, I'm always so fascinated thinking about people all across time using natural material to make functional pieces, and their process in learning how to do it. Being able to work with my hands with something I personally found in the earth brings me back to my humanness and connection to nature.
I'm so in love with this clay, we might have to go back and just go to get some. It's amazing. Like, I've never seen this color. Like, looking out in nature, it's, I think, more common to find like a brown red clay. But from when I was researching where it's from volcanic glacier runoff. Perfecto.
Pottery is such an important time for me. There is always a moment or two around when I'm about to start pulling the walls where I just let loose and feel like I can be my most authentic self. I feel the weight of the world lifted off my shoulders and I can completely lose track of time.
I think this has got to be like a lidded jar or a vase. Okay, so I think I pulled it good. I've got some room to play around. Let's see what I want.
This form started calling me in the direction of something unique, like having a rounded edge and also a straight edge at the same time. I like to go in without a plan because sometimes the clay tells me where it wants to go. At this point, I was feeling good about it and also a little nervous because I really like the piece. Will it survive the kiln? Should I trim it? Should I add accessories? So many exciting questions with answers just ahead.
That looks pretty cleaned up.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with it that I need to fix? Okay, I like it a lot. Thank you. I'm gonna put funky handles on it and make chains.
Sweet. Happy?
Yes.
I was feeling very accomplished at this point, not realizing what was just ahead. But if I had just left it like this, I don't think I would have felt finished. Yes, it's amazing to be able to make something with forged clay, but I really wanted to make it something that I love. I knew I wanted to add some funky chains to this piece, anchored with 2 trophy-style handles on each side. But as I was making the handles, I realized it needed a minor trim. I wish I had just trimmed it beforehand because what happened next was slightly devastating. Everything was going okay until this happened.
I can't think about things right now, honestly, I'm sorry. That's so annoying.
All in all, it was not the end of the world and the handles magically didn't fall off, but I was a little bit bummed. I have continued to experiment with incorporating chains into my work lately. I feel really connected to the style because it adds an ancient mixed with modern feeling to the vessels I've been making. I feel like the chains and other accessories give the piece a richer story to tell. Pottery can be a way to take what's happening internally and put it into an external form. It's kind of cathartic. So I guess all my vessels tell a story for me in a way.
Every moment of it.
Looking awesome.
Make sure to stay in the loop for part 2 to see if it survives the firing process. Thanks for watching.